the middle of an exciting IPL season and we're being joined by Royal Challengers Bengaluru, Captain Virat Kohli, AB de Villiers, Yuzvendra Chahal and also the CEO of Eros Digital, Rishika Lulla Singh. Virat, to you first. It was a tough match against Mumbai Indians. You are the orange cap holder, but somewhere, someplace not going right for Royal Challengers Bengaluru at this moment?
Well, it's not even 10 days into the tournament, so we're not thinking about anything like that. We can't sit down and analyze the season yet. It's only been 4 games, and I think people are quite happy to jump the gun pretty soon, which we don't do as a team. If we think like people on the outside, then there's no point playing the game. So yeah, look, the orange cap and all those things don't matter when you don't win. If you're winning and your contributions are small as well, those are the things you take pride in. But as I said, as a team and as a whole bunch of driven individuals, we are not even thinking of analyzing the season yet because it's such a long road ahead. Even our most successful seasons, we've come back in the end and actually made the playoffs, and that's what every team aims to do. So we have a strong belief and a feeling that we're going to pick up at the right time.
And as far as IPL is concerned, it's always a mixture of experience and some unexpected, unseen talent that gets noticed for you. How is it, playing with AB de Villiers at one side and actually mentoring and nurturing the young talents on the other? How does that bring together?
Well, it's a great experience, I feel. Having the opportunity to play with AB since 2011, it's 7 years now. We've grown as friends, we've gotten to know each other, and that's the beauty of the IPL. Even when you play against each other, you still know the person, you're competitive, but that friendship is something that the IPL has created all around the world. And opportunity for the youngsters as well is something which is priceless. Someone like Chahal, who came through from IPL and now is an established Indian bowler. So I think those are the positives that IPL throws out season in, season out, and that's something we've all experienced as youngsters, and now we are helping the other youngsters grow in their games, which I think is a very exciting and amazing experience.
AB, for you, you're probably the most loved player in Bengaluru after Virat Kohli.
In the world.
In
the world.
How's that camaraderie for you, playing in Bengaluru and, with the team? How's it?
That's difficult to put in words. I've had a fantastic stay at Bangalore, made some incredible friends that'll last for a lifetime. And ultimately, when I come back to your first question, how things are not going our way, but ultimately those are the kind of things that you cherish forever. So it's all about connecting with the team, with the players, with the coaches, the owners, and then hopefully if things go well, you lift the trophy at the end of the tournament. That's a cherry on the cake. So those are the kind of things that I focus on, to try and have an impact on players, have a good influence. When I'm playing, I try and play as well as I can. It doesn't always happen like it should. Like last night didn't go so well, but hopefully in the next game, as a team, we'll bounce back, and as a player myself, hopefully I'll contribute again.
And as far as playing under pressure is concerned, you somehow seem to ace that trick of playing under pressure. Some of your batting, this thing is testimony to it. So how do you really do that? Is there a trick to it?
I've got a feeling that this year we're going to have players that's going to jump up at the right times under pressure. I can't perform for 16 games, which if you do go to the final, that's how many games you'll play. Maybe 17 if you don't finish top 2. Virat will jump in at the right times. Usually will come through. There's so many youngsters that are showing a lot of promise this year. So I feel that there's not so much pressure on me, maybe compared to some of the past seasons. I can just go out there and enjoy it, and I know I've got that match-winning knock on me at the right time, hopefully in the next game.
Yuzvendra, many praises coming your way from Virat Kohli, from AB de Villiers. You are a product of IPL, like Virat said. From there to becoming the mainstay of the Indian bowling team, to becoming the mainstay of RCB. How has that journey been for you?
Obviously, in 2014 when I came to RCB, before that I was with the Mumbai Indians. I didn't play I played just 1 IPL matches and the Champions League. When I came to because Bangalore is a small ground, so when I came there, I was a little bit scared of how to bowl there. But the way management, Virat Bhai and AB and everyone, they backed me up, so they gave me lots of confidence. So it's you need seriously you need a backup when you're not performing and all. And when I play for RCB, I will get everything from even the management, even the captain side. So this is a good thing for me.
And now, IPL is always about entertainment and cricket together. And we have Rishika Lula Singh over here, who's the CEO of Eros Digital. Rishika, what does this association, bring to the table? Eros now associating with Royal Challengers Bengaluru.
So in India, the holy grail of all entertainment rests between cricket and cinema, so Bollywood. Eros now as a product is the largest repository of Bollywood movies. Tying up with IPL and a fabulous team like RCB marries the two together really, really beautifully. It's a great way to get the brand out. It's a great way to marry the two together. Eros now obviously gets, great kind of access to content, some branding, promotional materials, marketing materials. Really helps us kind of focus on bringing us to a direct-to-consumer brand proposition today.
Okay. Virat, coming back to the cricket aspect, India is going to have a very tough away season. It will start with the tour of England. There is a talk about your county stint also before that. There are people who, who have had mixed reactions to it. Is all of that happening? And how are you looking at the tour of England?
Very excited.
I'm also excited.
And anything about your county stint?
Very happy.
And
I've done this a lot, so I understand what's happening.
No, I'm just saying that 2019 World Cup is also going to be.
It's too far away. We're in 2018. We're 10 days into the IPL, so I think I can't even tell you what I'm doing tomorrow or how my day is going to be tomorrow. You're asking me something which is a year and a half down the line.
But you're going to be.
See, obviously, every team around the world, you can ask AB as well. When we play games these days, everyone is trying to figure out what's their best combination for that big World Cup, and that's always at the back of our heads.
That is what the question was going to be.
Yeah, so I understood already, so that's why I'm answering. So that is obviously at the back of our heads with every team in the world, and we are trying players and we are trying combinations to be able to work out the best combination possible when we arrive at the World Cup. So I think every other team in the world is as involved and as keen on getting their combinations right as we are.
And talking about away season, there's also a tour of Australia. Do you think it is going to be a tad bit easier given the former captain and vice captain will not be there?
I don't think so. Australian tours are never easy, and we aim to do well wherever we go, and we don't look at the scenario before going to a tour. Our preparation is the only thing that we have in our control, and that's what we're going to focus on.
Maybe coming to you, IPL has always been a platform for Indian youngsters to perform well, give them a stepping stone to possibly be playing in the India colours. Just, how do you look at the Indian Premier League?
It's a great tournament to be a part of. I'm surprised every year to see new Indian talent coming through. I'm wondering when it's going to stop because it's irritating me in a way. Every time you think you're getting the better of the Indian team, then some guy just comes in no one's ever seen before. He's turning the ball a meter both ways.
Who's been that for you in the recent
Bumrah
times?
comes through, picks up wickets in South Africa. Then Bhuvi is bowling the best he's ever bowled. No, they're in a great place as a cricketing nation, and the IPL needs to get a lot of credit for that. Some of the young players get exposure on a level which I believe is right up there with international cricket. The IPL, the standard of the cricket, and the teams. If you look at the standard this year, I think it's the best IPL so far. Any team can win it, and they're talented players all over the park. So yeah, it's a great stepping stone for youngsters in India to come through and to learn how things are done and to get some experience under the belt.
Well, we know that, there is a lot of cricket in Royal Challengers Bengaluru, but Yuzvendra Chahal's Instagram is also filled with the fun side of the team. So, Yuzvendra, if we can ask you what goes on behind the scenes in Royal Challengers Bengaluru, who's the most fun or who's the prankster? Just give us a lowdown as to what goes down behind the scenes.
Don't tell the truth. Just make up a story.
Time out.
No, strategic timeout is not here.
And I think like couple of guys like Manan Vora is there, Mandy is there. Like yeah, we fun a lot. Like behind the stage and all, we enjoy we always enjoy like a family.
Virat, to you, has anybody caught your eye in the IPL? You said it's early in the season, but still, any bowler, any batsman that you think that is some sort of an unexpected, unseen raw talent that can be, taken further?
Well, I'm not a selector, so taken further is something which is
caught your eye.
offbeat. I honestly haven't watched all the games of other teams yet, but there are a lot of exciting new players that have come in. So I think, and you shouldn't judge anyone by just 2 games, even if they do well or they don't do well. You need to give them, time and space over the whole season to understand their character and how they perform in different situations, and that's something that I would sort of observe a player on, not assess or judge, because I'm no one to do that, but I would observe a player according to how they react in different situations and how composed they are when the team is under pressure. So I think you got to give them at least one long season to understand their mindset and whether they have the ability to move one step further. If they've reached the IPL, obviously they're very good. So we'll all watch young, exciting talent. As AB said, it's always fun to watch these guys come in and perform the way they do, and you're like, wow, we were not as good as them at their age. So that's the evolution that will keep happening. The next generation is always going to be better.
And these are the characteristics that are going to help them, reach
For
the
sure,
Indian
as
colour.
AB mentioned, IPL is a level which is comparable to international cricket. Not Test cricket, I wouldn't say, because Test cricket is a whole different ball game altogether. But and the World Cups as well. But the other international cricket, I think IPL is totally at par with it, and that's why people are so excited to play it as well, and they're so motivated and they feel all the emotions of ups and downs because of the standard that it sets and the big crowds that come in. So I think it's a great tournament for all the younger guys.
AB, Virat just talked about Test cricket, and there is a lot that is debated that whether Test cricket is losing its importance or it's not, and with the advent of T20 cricket and all of that. How do you look at Test cricket?
In my eyes, it's not a debate at all. It's the ultimate form of the game by a long way. It's not even close. Certainly for the players, I'm pretty sure the fans are still enjoying it. You look at the last couple of seasons. There's been some great test matches all around the world. It's all competitive, it's all close, it's all passion. You can see the guys are really playing for the nations. Where I think you miss the trick sometimes in T20 cricket internationally. There's not a lot of backbone behind the whole T20 structure I think they have at the moment. I'm all for Test cricket, and I think it's going to last forever.
Virat, same for you?
Absolutely. There's nothing like Test cricket. The preparation that goes into preparing for a Test series, or even mid-series before a Test match, when you haven't had a good Test match, to prepare for the next one and actually, be positive, is a very difficult thing to do, because when you lose a Test match, you understand how hard it's been, emotional and physical effort over 4 or 5 days, and then you got to prepare for another one like that. So that test, that's why it's called Test cricket. That test you totally, sometimes you don't have to score a run for 2 hours for the team, and sometimes you got to score at 6 and over to make a game. So I think it's outstanding. There's nothing like Test cricket. It's very difficult for, as I said, people on the outside to sometimes understand how privileged we feel playing Test cricket, and that is something that the people on the outside need to look from the cricketer's point of view, and then look at Test cricket, because you just can't look at it from the entertainment side of things. When you understand the player's mindset, then you understand the importance of this format. So for us, as AB said, this will never fade away. This will never be reduced as long as, as far as we see it. And we're all for Test cricket anytime. If you give us 5, 7, 8 Test matches, we're happy to play it, because it's the job satisfaction in Test cricket is compared to nothing else.
And whatever you said right now in terms of difficulty, in terms of the emotional, mental, physical, that is there. The series against South Africa would be a perfect example to sum it up.
It was a great series, I guess. We understand as players, again, a lot of things will be spoken on the outside, but we understand as players that the matches were closely contested and the better team won on all 3 occasions, whoever played the Test match as well. They had a great series against Australia. They were the better team there. So it's all about, Test matches can change in a span of 45 minutes. That's the beauty of the whole game. Your 5 days of cricket can be determined on one particular phase of the game. And I've certainly felt that was one of the most exciting series I've been a part of. And the crowds were great as well. And, it's all wonderful when everyone understands the game and they're there for the right reasons. And I think that was one of the most exciting series I've played in.
AB, for you, the series, versus Australia, the win would be remembered for a long, long time?
Yeah, that was a great series to be part of. To me, it's some of the best cricket we've played. To be 1-0 down and to win 3 in a row after that was a great comeback. A lot happened on and off the field that made it quite spicy, but I guess that's part of the game. And unfortunately, some things went a little bit over the line, but up until then it was really great. And I feel that banter and the passion shown by both teams is really part of the game. Certainly one of the best series I've ever been a part of.
Rishika, coming back to you, you spoke about the association with IPL, but you didn't exactly tell us as to why the Royal Challengers Bangalore in specific.
Well, I mean, as a team, I think the spirit is incredible. You have some legendary players who are all seated here, and the fandom and the inspiration that actually, comes from this team into the youth of this country. Every boy, every single girl, every parent, every grandparent, they inspire a lot of happiness. They inspire people to kind of go out, do their best, and they touch everyone's hearts as a team, which is why, from an Eros Now perspective, what we also want to do is touch everyone's heart through entertainment. So the marriage of the two together is something that's really beautiful.
And Virat, to you, just what do you make of what do you do, in terms of your fitness and in terms of just being the way you are? How much does it go into it?
There's a lot of work that goes into it. I'm not going to sit here and explain it all because it's going to take a long time. But
just a sneak peek for whoever's watching you.
I'm not naturally a very. I haven't been a very athletic guy naturally when I was growing up. I was a very chubby kid coming from a proper North Indian household, and eating butter chicken and biryanis and kebabs and whatnot all the time, and dessert was always on the menu. So I had no knowledge and understanding of how to go about being a professional sportsman. So I had to change around a lot of things. I've seen guys who are naturally athletic, who are naturally lean, and they don't put on weight. They can afford to do things that I can't. So I think it's a choice. I mean, I'm not doing something which everyone should do, and that should be very clear because this supports my body type and what I need to do. Someone like AB, who's naturally so fit, might not. No, I'm serious. If he follows the kind of diet that I follow, he'll probably feel lightheaded. He might not have so much energy. So even Yuzi as well. There are a lot of guys who are naturally lean and they don't need to do what I'm doing. So it's not like a mandate. It's the best thing that I can do for my body.
Okay. And AB, for you?
I'm old. No, I go through phases of my career, whatever's working for me at that particular time, whether I've played a lot of cricket or not. The most important thing to me is to feel fresh and energized on the cricket field. Far too often, early on in my career, I played feeling flat, and that feeling I never want to have again. Want to get to 50 or 60 runs and feel like I can't anymore, So whatever I do leading up to that, and this season I felt like I've worked harder than ever. I've hit more balls. I enjoyed working in the gym, where in the last few seasons before that, maybe because of the amount of cricket I played, I felt like I needed to get away from that and make sure that I'm fresh on the park. So you go through different phases, and like Virat said, whatever's working for you, for your body type, you got to follow that and not try and do what someone else thinks you got to do. You work closely with a fitness trainer, yes, and you have a nice conversation and get something on paper and follow that.
Virat, if you're talking about Indian cricket, I have to ask you one question about, MS Dhoni. There are times when he, underperforms, and there are questions about, whether he should be here, whether he should be not here. I mean, do these conversations happen, or they're just laughed off between you guys?
As I said, if we speak and think like people on the outside, Indian cricket will be in big trouble. I can promise you that. So it's far from, the fantastical world on the outside where issues are created out of nowhere, and suddenly when the team is doing well, people look for some disharmony, and we are like, how negative can people become, that you want to sell something negative or speak about something negative all the time. I mean, when we lose, there are debates which are non-stop, and when we win, it's like 2 features and on to the next news. And so it doesn't matter to us what people say or write about us on the outside, and we understand where we're heading as a team, and we are absolutely comfortable with that.
And before we wrap this up, one question to all of you. You know, it's been 10 years to the IPL. We're in the 11th season. How do you look back at it? You know, it's been a mixture of intense cricket, some controversies, some, good moments from it. How do you look back at IPL? Virat, starting with you.
It's the best league in the world. That's all I can say after 10 years, and it'll continue to be. It set a benchmark for all the other leagues around the world to make it as exciting, and I think whatever's organic, whichever one is the first one, is always going to be, the most special one. So you can ask all the players that have been involved. It's I would say the 10-year experience has probably been the best cricketing experience for all of us.
Yeah, to me when I started off, I thought it was going to be a little flash in the pan, quick in and out kind of thing. Last for 3 years, maybe 5 years if we're lucky. And it's my 11th season of an IPL. That's like a full career in itself. So it's incredible, and it's just what a privilege. That's all I can think of.
I think it's a perfect platform for the youngsters and all, and you play against all the international players, and it will feel like you playing international cricket. So yeah, it's a good fun.
Thank you. Thank you so much for talking to Times Now.